It is time for Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online tonight. And a first ever meeting between two recognized longtime powers in high school basketball. The Hamilton Southeastern Royals will host the Newcastle Trojans. It's all coming up on Audio Sports Online. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for coming out and joining me for some high school basketball. And before we get to our varsity game tonight, which should be a pretty good game between two very, very good teams, we're going to have some junior varsity action as the Newcastle Trojans JV squad will take on Hamilton Southeastern. So let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups. The Trojans JV squad, his head coach is Steve Swim. They will start a four-guard lineup, a very small lineup for the Trojans. Starting at a guard will be a 5'9 sophomore, Mason Hardwick. And another guard is a 5'10 sophomore, Blake Burrs. The third guard is a 5'11 sophomore, Wes Chamberlain. At the fourth guard, a 6-foot sophomore, Nicholas Greaser. And at forward, a 6'3 junior, Bryce Webb. So at the guards, it'll be Hardwick, Greaser, Burrs, and Chamberlain, and Webb is the forward. For the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, the JV head coach is Dave Merica. In his starting lineup, we'll have at a guard a 5'8 freshman, Bradley Beeman. At the other guard, a 5'11 junior, Josh Fugate. The third guard is a 6-foot sophomore, Matt Harris. At forward, a 6-foot junior, Dayland Hooks. And at center, a 7'1" freshman, Mabor Majak. So once again, for the Royals, it'll be Beeman, Fugate, and Harris in the backcourt, Hooks and Majak in the front court. And that's the starting lineups for our JV game. Actually, Coach Dave Merica, almost a four-guard look himself. So this should be a pretty interesting matchup with really the big advantage going to Hamilton Southeastern in the middle with the big 7'1" center, Mabor Majak. So we're ready for some basketball. Hope you are too. Pull up a chair. Glad you could join us for Royals basketball. Only 5 games left on the schedule, including tonight's game. Royals will be home for the Trojans. They will host Pike before wrapping up the season with Lawrence North, and then they will be on the road at the end of this week on Friday to take on the Carmel Greyhounds, and then they will wrap up their road schedule with a Hoosier Crossroads Conference matchup at Brownsburg next week. But a big 5-game stretch for Hamilton Southeastern. We'll talk more about that as we get ready for the varsity game. It will be the 7'1" freshman Mabor Majak going against the 6'3" junior Bryce Webb as we get ready to start this basketball game. The Royals in the home whites with the blue numerals and blue trim. The Trojans in the road greens with the white numerals and white trim. And we're ready for basketball. 7 minutes on the clock. And the ball is in the air, and the tip is controlled by Hamilton Southeastern as Bradley Beeman to Dylan Hooks to Josh Fugate. And the Royals have the basketball to begin the game against a man-to-man defense by the Trojans. Here's Hooks. Left side, that's Harris. Over to Fugate. Fugate to Beeman. Back over to Josh, looking down low as Fugate, a little bit of a ball fake, and now throws the ball away. He was hoping that Matt Harris would come back, and instead Matt went to the top of the key, and the turnover gives the ball to the Trojans. With the basketball, Nicholas Greaser, as here's a steal by Bradley Beeman. Beeman with it, and as he goes up, he's going to be stripped, and the foul's going to be called, I believe, on Mason Hardwick. So Hardwick will be hit with his first foul, and they will say that Bradley was in the act of shooting, so he is going to the line to shoot 2. And he will put the first points on the scoreboard from the free throw line with 6:18 left to go in this opening quarter. One more free throw for Beeman. And that one's short, but there's Majak, and they're going to get the big fella reaching over the back as tried to use those big long arms and get the rebound, but It works only if you don't make contact with the player in front of you, and they deemed that Majak made contact, so it's an over-the-back foul. And the first on Majak, the first team foul on Hamilton Southeastern, but they do lead 1-0 as we're about a minute into this first quarter. Chamberlain with the basketball. That's Wes Chamberlain over to Blake Burris. And here's almost another steal by Beeman, but the Trojans have it, and then just able to save it, get it in, and the shot is no good. Majak comes away with a greaser miss, and Beeman will go left side to Hooks. Hooks leaves it off to Harris to Fugate. And Fugate will give it to Hooks, and the Royals will reset the offensive as Matt Harris has the ball, gets around a Majak screen, and then kick it right side. Beeman for three. That one's just off the rim, and the weak side rebound to West Chamberlain. Up into the front court and tried to force it down low. It did Hardwick. Ball still loose underneath. Webb came away with it, and he'll send it up top. Here is a three ball. That's off the back iron, no good by Burris. And Southeastern brings the ball into the front court, and we're going to have a traveling violation. Another turnover for the Royals, but they lead 1-0 off of a Bradley Beeman free throw with 5:05 left to go in this first quarter of play. This is Nicholas Greaser bringing the ball up court for the Trojans. Handing it to Blake Burris over to Mason Hardwick. Hardwick flips it over the shoulder to Chamberlain. They'll skip it into the corner. It'll be knocked out of bounds off of Southeastern, and the Trojans will retain possession. Royals with a 1-0 lead. As Hardwick on the inbounds, his shot from the corner, the three is no good. Majak has the rebound. Dayland Hooks thought about three. Instead goes right side to Fugate to Harris, down low to Majak. Double team comes. Majak kicks it back out to Matt Harris, who launches a three. That's short, and the rebound is by Blake Burris. Trojans into the front court to Hardwick. They are still looking for their first point. As a matter of fact, neither team has scored a point from the field, and that wraparound layup by Chamberlain's no good. Majak with another rebound. Hooks will slow it down, now looks to penetrate, and has the ball stolen by Mason Hardwick. He was trying to get it to Harris out in the corner. Ball stolen away, and the Trojans are in the front court. And now we will have a foul, and if it's against Majak, that'll be his second. It will be against Mabor, so that's his second, and the second team foul against Hamilton Southeastern. Foul occurred on the floor, so the Trojans will take it out of bounds from the baseline, and they get the ball inbounds to West Chamberlain. Over to Hardwick, 3:58 remains in this first quarter. 1-0 is our score. Driving and getting the layup is Blake Burris, and our first field goal belongs to the Trojans at 3:48 left to go in this first quarter. They lead 2-1. Beeman to Fugate over to Harris. Up top to Hooks. Hooks drives. Pull-up jumper is a little strong, and coming down with a rebound is West Chamberlain for the Trojans. Newcastle right side, and we're going to have a traveling violation as Nicholas Greaser looked to make a baseline drive, but he's called for traveling. Cole Hornbuckle into the lineup for Coach Dave America's Royals. He will take over for Matt Harris. 2-1 in favor of the Trojans. 3:30 left to go in quarter number one on a Tuesday night. Beeman around a hook screen, lobs it to Majak at the high post, and Majak will do a nice strong drive to the cup and flush it down with one hand and put the Royals out in front 3-2. And now stolen away by Hornbuckle. He'll go left side to Bradley Beeman. Beeman tried to get it to Hooks. Majak is there to get the ball. Finally, it's corralled by Bradley Beeman. Finds Cole Hornbuckle, and Hornbuckle will drive left side and get the bucket. Makes it a 3-point Southeastern lead with 2:45 left to go in the first quarter. Hardwick goes to his left side to Nicholas Greaser. Leaves it to Blake Burris. Burris drives in the lane, lost it, and down on the court, and now timeout called by Newcastle, as driving down the lane, Nicholas Grieser had thoughts of taking it up and then saw the big 7'1" center and kind of lost track of the basketball. He is able to get it and called the timeout. So a 30-second timeout called by Newcastle. They trail by 3. The 2:28 left to go in this first quarter by the score of 5-2. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining us for Royals basketball on a Tuesday night. Again, only 4 more games after this one in the regular season before sectionals begin. Of course, Chris Huppenthal Lady Royals season came to a close last Saturday night here at Hamilton Southeastern High School as they fell to Carmel. So their season's done, but it was a very, very good season for Coach Hupp's Lady Royals. And now it's Brian Satterfield's Royals that take center court. But first, JV action as Newcastle trails 5-2. Here's a 3 from the wing. That's up. That is good from Wes Chamberlain. Chamberlain's 3 ties it at 5 with 2:14 remaining in the first quarter. Beeman to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle terminates his dribble, finds Bradley Beeman. Beeman lobs it to Majak. Stolen away by Chamberlain, however, as he anticipated the pass. Here come the Trojans. Driving, Chamberlain left it off the front of the rim. Underneath was Nicholas Grieser to get the rebound, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called against Hamilton Southeastern. And Dayland Hooks will be called for his first, 3rd team foul, and Bradley Beeman will take a seat, and Matt Harris returns the lineup for the Royals. We're tied at 5 with 1:50 left to go in the first quarter. Trojans will move it out to the corner. As Burris drives on Fugate, they'll send it top of the key. High arching 3 is up and good by Bryce Webb. A rainbow 3 by Webb puts the Trojans on top, 8-5. Meanwhile, Fugate drives in the lane. Right-handed runner is up and good. Fugate's bucket narrows the deficit to 1, and we have 1:11 left to go in quarter number 1. They feed down low, and getting loose and missing the layup was Nicholas Grieser. Hooks with a rebound for Southeastern. He'll drive, leave it to Matt Harris. Matt Harris to Mabor Majak, who almost fumbled it out. But there was Hooks to get it back, kick it out to Harris. The Harris 3, that's no good. And now we're going to have a foul on the rebound against the Royals' Dayland Hooks. That's his 2nd, team's 4th. And Hooks will have to take a seat. And into the lineup is Brandon Miller for Hamilton Southeastern. 8-7 in favor of the Trojans. 40 seconds remain in this first quarter of play. As they have the basketball, Mason Hardwick dribbles, working on Matt Harris. Both teams have stayed in a man-to-man this entire first quarter. As Burris drives, and we're going to have a offensive foul on the screen. Or no, they'll get Fugate for a hand check. Excuse me, that's his first 15 foul. And Bradley Beeman will return. Fugate will depart. So Fugate leaves with his first foul. Meanwhile, Bryce Webb will depart for the Trojans, and he'll be replaced by Andrew Froge. Trojans lead by 1. 26.1 seconds remain in the first quarter. As Hardwick leaves the ball for Nicholas Grieser. Grieser harassed by Brandon Miller. They'll back it up with 8 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3. They'll swing it down low and not get the shot off, as Andrew Froge just kind of was right underneath Mabor Majak and couldn't do anything against the big 7'1" center, and the clock runs out, and that's the end of the first quarter. Our score after 1, is Newcastle 8, Hamilton Southeastern 7. This is Royals basketball in ASO. One quarter in the books, and the Newcastle Trojans lead the Hamilton Southeastern Royals 8-7 in this junior varsity contest. I'm Brian Scott. Second quarter about ready to get underway. A couple of threes by the Trojans in that first quarter, one by Wes Chamberlain, one by Bryce Webb. Helped put them out in front. Meanwhile, Mabor Majak, Cole Hornbuckle, Josh Fugate all scored a basket from the field, while Bradley Breamden had a free throw. However, DeLind, Hooks, and Mabor Majak both playing now with two personal fouls as we begin the second quarter. We'll end it the way the first quarter ended, with Bradley Beeman, Brandon Miller, Cole Hornbuckle, Mabor Majak, and Matt Harris on the court for Coach Dave Marica's Royals. And we'll set the Trojans lineup as it is Nicholas Greaser joined by Andrew Froge. Blake Burris is driving and losing the ball out of bounds was Mason Hardwick. And the fifth member will be Wes Chamberlain. And we'll see some pressure now applied by the Trojans as they pick up a little man-to-man pressure off of the inbounds. And Matt Harris looks like he won't have much problem getting it into the front court. Hooks over to Beeman. Beeman to Brandon Miller, right side to Harris. Harris from the free throw line. His shot, that's short, but Miller has the rebound. He will set up his shot. That's short off the rim. Ball's loose. Harris is put back, no good. Majak's put back is good. Mabor Majak with 4 points, and the Royals retake the lead 9-8. Just underway, second quarter from Hamilton Southeastern High School. Ball's loose. Harris gets the loose ball, and then he's fouled as falling on top of him. Or no, they'll get the 30-second timeout. Thought it was going to be a foul against Mason Hardwick. Instead, the Royals are able to get the timeout. And they'll have the basketball with 6:07 left to go in this second quarter, leading 9-8. JV action. Varsity to follow. Should be a good game between a pair of very, very good teams with Newcastle and Hamilton Southeastern. First time these two teams have ever faced one another. And they will be doing so a little bit later on, but first some JV action. Newcastle has brought a group of fans clad in green across the way. Of course, a lot of action going on right now at Hamilton Southeastern High School this evening as the diving regionals are being held here at Hamilton Southeastern High School tonight. 6 minutes left to go, first half. Royals lead 9-8, and they have the basketball. Matt Harris lobs it to Majak. Majak gets fouled from behind as three players converge, and Mabor will end up with a trip to the free throw line. Only the second team foul against the Trojans, and it's against Blake Burris. Mabor Majak with a pair of free throws as Ryan Huntley now in for the Trojans while Majak hits the first free throw. So it is Huntley, Chamberlain, Froge, Burris, and Greaser. And Majak hits both free throws. He has 6 points. And the lead's up to 3 for Hamilton Southeastern. Quickly up court are the Trojans. Bounce pass to Huntley in the wing, and he'll send it back up top to Greaser. Greaser working on Cole Hornbuckle. And now we'll back it up. Tries to get around Cole, and he is going to be called for the offensive foul. Kind of got that arm extended as he tried to make the move toward the cup, and he will be called for the offensive foul. So Greaser hit with his first personal third-team foul as Chris Skatlowski comes in for Brandon Miller. Royals lead by 3 with 5:31 remaining in the first half as Hornbuckle has the basketball. He feeds Beeman, driving down the left side of the lane, and up and in is Bradley Beeman. Beeman with 3 points, and the lead is now up to 5 for Hamilton Southeastern at 13-8 with 5:13 left to go in this first half. Froge hands the ball off to Huntley, who will kick it back. Long-range three on its way, which is actually long by Burris. Kotlowski comes away with a rebound, and the Royals have it in the front court. Here's Beeman, right side to Kotlowski, hands the ball off to Matt Harris. Matt Harris, it's chased around before finding Beeman to Kotlowski. Kotlowski looking to inbound it or make the entry pass into Majak, who kicks it back out to Matt Harris. Harris, jump step in the lane, high off the glass, no good, and now we're going to have a foul. As coming away with was Blake Burris, and I believe Chris Kotlowski is going to be called for the personal. So Kotlowski is hit with his first personal, but it is, more importantly, the 16th foul against Hamilton Southeastern here in this first half. So the next team foul against the Royals will put the Trojans on the line as Bryce Webb returns to the lineup for Coach Steve Swim. Trojans trail by 5, but they have the basketball, and they get it to Froge. Froge feeds it right side to Webb, who kicks it back out. 3 from the wing is no good by Froge. And the inside-outside game does not pan out for the Trojans. They feed Majak. Majak one-on-one. He'll pop the jumper. That's long. And into the hands of Nicholas Greaser. Greaser, long outlet to Huntley. Over now to Burris. Burris gets underneath and gets trapped by 3 Royals. Here's Matt Harris going the other way. Leaves it to Kotlowski, and Kotlowski finishes the break. Royals on a bit of a run now here. They've gone on an 9-0 run. And they have 3:37 left to go here in this first half. Here's a drive block by Majak. He denied Froge, and the Royals bring it back the other way. Leaving it up and laying it in is Matt Harris, and that's going to cause the Trojans to call a timeout as the Royals have extended their lead tonight at 17-8 with 3:22 remaining, a full timeout. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Brian Scott back with you from Hamilton Southeastern High School, the home of the Royals, as the Royals host the Trojans from Newcastle. 3:22 remaining in this first half of the junior varsity contest, as the Royals have gone on a 10-0 run now here in this second quarter, as they have shut down Newcastle. It is now 17-8. Newcastle led 8-7 after the end of the first quarter, but Hamilton Southeastern has scored 10 straight to begin quarter number 2 with 3:22 still remaining, and they now lead by 9. Out of the timeout, it'll be Chris Kotlowski, Bradley Beeman, Matt Harris, Cole Hornbuckle, and Mabor Majak for the Royals. It'll be Bryce Webb, Ryan Huntley, Blake Burris, Nicholas Greaser, and Andrew Froge for the Trojans, who have the basketball, looking at a press, a trapping press by Hamilton Southeastern. Picking up the basketball was Greaser, still needing to get it across the timeline, and they finally do, as Burris pushes it up. Right side to Rylan Huntley. Back left side to Nicholas Greaser. And Greaser now, we're going to get a whistle and a foul. And this is one, if it's against Southeastern, and it is, it's against Matt Harris, his first, but it is the 17th foul. So bonus in effect. And to the line will be Nicholas Greaser to attempt the first free throw of the night for Newcastle. And the Trojans have watched Hamilton Southeastern go on a 10-0 run to begin this second quarter, looking to break that in any way possible. And they do get the free throw to put their first point on the scoreboard here in the second quarter. Mason Hardwick returns to the lineup for the Trojans, while Nicholas Grieser, converts on both free throws. He has his first 2 points, and it makes it a 7-point Southeastern lead with under 3 minutes left to go in this first half. Matt Harris, as the double team comes, he gets it across the timeline, leaves it to Beeman. Beeman out to Kotlowski for 3. That one's just long, bounces twice, and it's no good with the Trojans coming away with a rebound. Hardwick, left side to Webb, hands the ball off, looked for possibly taking a 3 was Burris. Instead, he'll drive, lay it off the glass too high, tapped away, and into the hands of Grieser as Majak tried to tap it out. Instead, tapped it into the hands of Grieser, and we'll have a whistle and a foul. If this is against Majak, and it is, that's his third. Well, I had him down for 3. They have him down for 2. We'll see. But meantime, Nicholas Grieser, who made the 2 free throws just a moment ago, missed the first. Majak departs, and Nate Shitkowski enters the game, I should say, for the first time. More for Grieser. He splits the free throws. He now has 3 points, all of them from the line. And it's down to a 6-point Southeastern lead with 2:20 left to go in this first half. They find Harris, touches it out to Kotlowski, drives in the lane, left-hand runner, rims out, tipped away, but into the hands of the Trojans, but loose. And here's Matt Harris. Royals have numbers. Harris drives, gets the bucket and one. Matt Harris will try to convert the 3-point play. Grieser will be called for his second personal 14 foul. And as I said, Matt Harris at the line to see if he can convert the 3-point play. That one rims out, and it remains an 8-point lead for Southeastern as we hit 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Driving, throwing up a wild shot over the rim, no good. Webb's putback, however, is good off of the Froge miss, and Bryce Webb will have his own chance at a 3-point play. Bradley Beeman will be hit with his first personal. It's the 9th team foul, and Bryce Webb will see if he can convert the 3-point play. And he will. And that will trim the lead to 5 at 19-14 for the Royals. A lead that was up to 10 just a few moments ago. Here's 9 a few moments ago. Here's Hornbuckle to Beeman, back to Hornbuckle, left side to Harris. Showed the 3, but put it back down to Kotlowski and then gets the ball back. The top of the key, reverses, picks up his dribble, finds Shitkowski, over to Beeman. Beeman gets some separation. His shot from just inside the arc is no good, and we're going to have a foul called, and it looks like it's going to go against the Trojans. Bryce Webb. Correction. It's against Mason Hardwick, his second, not Webb. Blake Burris comes in as Grieser finally leaves. Meanwhile, here's Cole Hornbuckle. His jumper from the free throw line's no good. Rylan Huntley comes away with a rebound. 19-14 in favor of Southeastern, but as they went on a 10-0 run, they've kind of gone cold here. Meanwhile, Blake Burris's 3 cuts it to a 2-point lead for Southeastern. As we go under a minute left to play in the first half. Underneath, stolen away by Webb as Hornbuckle's pass to Shitkowski is stolen away. And the Trojans can tie it or take the lead on a 3 on this possession with 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Hardwick with the basketball, picked up by Hornbuckle. And we're going to have a foul called as they're going to get Cole Hornbuckle with his first, but it's the 10th team foul, so the double bonus is now in effect. So Hardwick will be at the line to shoot 2. First free throw is good. And that's been the story right now for Newcastle, really, in this second quarter. They are 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Hardwick will have one more. Second free throw is up. It is good. And now Hardwick will depart, and entering the lineup is David Schoen. 33 seconds remain, and we are tied at 19 after those 2 free throws. As Matt Harris to Cole Hornbuckle, joined by Bradley Beeman, Chris Ketlowski, and Nate Shitkowski. And for the first time, we see the Trojans go to a zone. Harris, his 3, that's a little long, and they're going to say it hit the top of the backboard. And that'll give the ball back to the Trojans. Harris with a wide open 3, but they'll say the bounce off the rim, hit the top of the backboard, and we'll give the ball back to the Trojans. We're tied at 19 with 15 seconds remaining in the first half. And they will bring it into the front court with 7 seconds remaining, putting the ball up, and they will call traveling on Nicholas Greaser. Didn't quite bring his 2 feet to a stop, drugged that foot as he tried to make the shot. With 4 seconds, here's Bradley Beeman in the lane, scoop shot, and gets the bucket as time expires. Bradley Beeman's layup as the clock expires gives the Hamilton Southeastern Royals the lead as the teams head to the locker room. Our score, Hamilton Southeastern 21, Newcastle 19. We'll have some halftime stats for you in about 6-7 minutes. Until then, this is Royals basketball on ASO. Halftime at Hamilton Southeastern High School in the junior varsity contest. And the JV Royals lead the Trojans from Newcastle by the score of 21-19. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me for Royals basketball on a Tuesday night. Hamilton Southeastern used a strong second quarter start. They went on a 10-0 run to begin the second quarter, only to watch Newcastle trim a 9-point deficit to actually tie the game at 19 before Bradley Beeman's layup as the clock expired in the first half put the Royals out in front by 2, and that's where we stand currently. Let's give you some stats as we get ready for second half action here from Hamilton Southeastern High School. First off, for the visiting Newcastle Trojans, they were led by 6 points from Bryce Webb, 5 points from Blake Burris, 3 points each from Nicholas Greaser and Wes Chamberlain, 2 points from Mason Hardwick. Rylan Huntley, Andrew Froge, and David Schoen played. They did not score. Free throws is pretty much what kept Newcastle in the game there in that second quarter, as they hit 5 out of 7 or 6 out of 7 free throws there in that second quarter. Meanwhile, for Hamilton Southeastern, 6 points from the big fella Mabor Majak, 5 points from Bradley Beeman, 4 points from Matt Harris, 2 points each from Josh Fugate, Chris Kotlowski, and Cole Hornbuckle. Dayland Hooks, Brandon Miller, Nate Shakowski played. They have not scored. Hamilton Southeastern was 3 of 5 from the free throw line in that first half. So we're about ready for second half action here from Hamilton Southeastern High School. Before we get to varsity action, that is coming up at the conclusion of this game. Newcastle and Hamilton Southeastern, first time these two teams have played one another in their history on the hardwoods. And for the Trojans, as they head out onto the court, they will have their starting 5 of Mason Hardwick, Nicholas Greaser, Blake Burris, Wes Chamberlain, and Bryce Webb. And for Hamilton Southeastern, it'll be Josh Fugate, Bradley Beeman, Matt Harris, Dayland Hooks, and Mabor Majak. And that is the starting lineups as they began the game, and that's how they will start the second half. And it will be the Royals with the basketball to begin. Fugate will give it over to Beeman as they feed the big fellow Majak. He'll find Fugate driving left side of the lane, but Fugate will be fouled. As first foul of this second half belongs to Mason Hardwick of the Trojans. That's his third. First team foul here in the second half. Here's Fugate's 3, no good. Majak with a rebound and a putback. Majak with his first bucket of the second half. He has 8 points, and the lead is up to 4, 23-19, as the Royals score first here in the second half. Here's Webb. He will hand the ball off, and the 3 from the top of the key is up and good from Mason Hardwick. Hardwick's 3 cuts the deficit to 1 at 23-22. Here's a 3 the other way by Beeman. His shot no good, and the Trojans have the basketball, and Webb will throw it away. He was trying to get the ball into the hands of Nicholas Greaser. And leaving will be Hardwick with his 3 personals. Royals with the basketball in a 1-point lead with 5:52 remaining. They'll lob it to Majak. He'll send it to Fugate. Fugate in the lane as he has the ball stripped from behind by Greaser. But the Royals retain possession of the basketball. They'll get the ball to Dayland Hooks. Hooks left side to Matt Harris. Harris over to Beeman, looking to feed Majak. Bosset send it up to Fugate. Fugate's 3 is long. Hooks tried to tap it out, but coming away with it was Blake Burris, and the Trojans have the basketball. They trail by 1 at 23-22. They'll send it out to the corner. 3 ball is off the flange, no good. Tipped out, but into the hands of Andrew Froge. Right side back to Froge. And has Ball's almost stolen by Fugate, but keeping it is Burris, and now stolen away from Fugate is Josh, left side to Dayland Hooks. Hooks in the lane, leans in, doesn't get the whistle, and instead the ball will go out of bounds, and they'll say it went off of Hooks. Coach Dave Marica looking for the foul. Didn't get a whistle either way on that one, and instead the Trojans have the basketball, trailing by 1. 4:45 left to go, third quarter. Ball tipped away and into the hands of Matt Harris. Harris with the basketball, drives, lays it up, and puts it in. Harris has 6 points, and the lead's back to 3 for Southeastern with 4:30 left to play here in the third quarter. As they send the ball outside to Blake Burris. Up top to Webb and back to Nicholas Greaser. Greaser in the lane, spins, pivots, tries to lay up a little short one-hand runner that stays on the rim but comes out. They'll send it up to the top. 3 ball by Burris is no good, and as Majak gets the rebound, we're going to have a whistle. And let's see what we've got here. As two teams are going to, the officials are going to talk this one over. Got a little chippy underneath with Majak. Hardwick's going to get hit with his 4th. Majak is going to be hit with a technical. And that'll be his 3rd. Meanwhile, Hardwick misses the free throw. And missed the second one. So Hardwick misses both free throws. Meanwhile, the technical went against Majak, and that will be credited with his 3rd, which is a technical. On the technical, it's also a personal. And for Hamilton Southeastern, it's their first team foul, second team foul against the Trojans, who have the basketball, now trailing by 3 with under 4 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Here's a 3 from the right wing, shot no good by Froge, rebounded by Greaser, and he'll send it back out top. Trojans looking for something that they can try to work down low. Again, Majak with 3. Instead, they'll launch a 3, and nailing it from the left wing is Andrew Froge. And that 3 ties the game at 25 with 3:25 remaining in this third quarter of play. Beeman lobs it to Majak, gets triple teamed. Now as the defenders move away, he'll turn, face the basket. Shot will be short, but he's going to earn a trip to the free throw line. Blake Burris with his second, 13 foul against the Trojans, and Mabor Majak at the line to shoot a pair. He will hit the first. Mabor has now hit all 3 of the free throws that he has attempted in this contest. Second free throw is up. That rattles around and drops. Mabor now in double figures with 10 points, and the lead's up to 2 at 27-25. Cole Hornbuckle now entering the lineup for Coach Dave Marica as Majak will sit. 27-25, Southeastern with the lead. Trojans with the basketball and 3:10 remaining in the third quarter. They'll feed Webb down in the post, and now Webb's going to be fouled by Hooks. Now that the big fella's out, Newcastle immediately trying to feed the low post, and Hooks will be hit with his second team foul against Hamilton Southeastern. So it'll be the Trojans taking the ball out from the baseline. Triggering it is Greaser still, and he will throw it up and almost have it stolen away, but finally Chamberlain comes down with it, gives it over to Burris. Trojans trail by 2 with 2:50 left to go. Here is Webb with a nice reverse spin. Missed the shot, ended up with the basketball after all, and Webb will finish it off this time to tie the game at 27. Missed the shot, but the rebound was to Burris, who gave it right back to Webb, who this time didn't miss it the second time around. Here's Hooks in the lane, won't get the bucket, but this time Daylin's going to earn a trip to the free throw line. Andrew Froge with his first as Daylin hits the first free throw and gets his first points of the game. One more for Daylin. He cans both free throws, and the lead's back to 2 for Southeastern, 29-27, with 2:24 remaining in this third quarter. Greaser, right side. Standing his ground was Fugate, so they'll send it back up to Burris. Burris around a Webb screen, and now they're going to get an illegal screen. Going to catch Bryce Webb with a bit of a chicken wing. It's his first, but the team's 5th, so 15 foul against the Trojans. Royals with the basketball up by 2 at 29-27, with 2:08 remaining in the third quarter. Bradley Beeman to Dayland Hooks. Hooks has it poked away, and it will stay at the Royals' end of the court. With under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter, Hooks will trigger the inbound right in front of the Royals' bench, and he'll throw it into the backcourt where Matt Harris will be, and then he'll bring it right back up front. Harris to Hooks. Hooks from the left elbow. His jumper just a little long. That comes down, and it will go out of bounds, and they'll say it will go off of Blake Burris. And this time, Coach Steve Swim of the Trojans saying this time that ball hit the top of the backboard, and this time they let the Royals keep it. Whereas on the other end, they gave it back to Trojans. So maybe a little inconsistency, but it will work for the Royals. Meanwhile, Hamilton Southeastern will call a full timeout with 1:46 left to go in this third quarter play, up 29-27. Don't forget, varsity action to follow as the Royals and the Newcastle Trojans. First ever meeting between these two schools. And it is quite obviously HFC youth basketball night here at Hamilton Southeastern. Again, we've got 4 more games on the docket after this one, and then it will be time for sectionals. 2 on the road and 2 here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. We'll be back with you Friday night from Carmel as the Royals take on the Greyhounds. JV game to begin at 6, varsity at 7:30. Matter of fact, Southeastern's going to have a very tough stretch of games here to close out the season against the Trojans tonight, Carmel on Friday. Pike will be here next Tuesday, and then the Royals will wrap up the regular season against Brownsburg on the road. Here's Hooks on the Fugate entry pass and gets the bucket. Good job by Delind Hooks. He has his first basket from the field. He has 4 points, and that's what the lead is 4, with 1:33 left to go in the third quarter. Picking up his dribble was Greaser, but he will find Rylan Huntley. They will get the ball into the hands of Froge, and as Froge drives right side, we're going to have a foul called against Southeastern. Only their third team foul here in the second half. And the second personal against Cole Hornbuckle. Andrew Froge will get 2 free throws. He has 3 points. He had a 3-point basket earlier in the quarter, and he makes the free throw. And makes it a 3-point game. He can make it a 2-point game. He leaves that one short, and Hooks has the rebound. 31-28, 1:20 left to go third quarter. From Hamilton Southeastern High School, I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me for Royals basketball. Junior varsity action. Cole Hornbuckle with the basketball, leaves it to Hooks. Hooks top of the key, traveled. He was looking to pivot, and it was kind of pivoting left, pivoting right, and in the opinion of the official, he drugged the pivot foot. He's called for steps, and the turnover gives the ball back to the Trojans, who trail by 3 with 65 seconds left to go in the third. Greaser picks up his dribble, and he will send it up top to Burris. Burris will stand near the timeline as the clock goes under 50 seconds. And now Fugate will come to at least start the 5-second count. Backs up, and they'll send it right side to Froge. 35 seconds remain in the third. As Greaser gets the basketball back, this time he'll work on Bradley Beeman. Send it out to the corner. Huntley's three, that's no good. Ball comes on the weak side, and the rebound is taken down by Chamberlain. He'll send it out to Burris. 15 seconds remain. Fugate is harassing Burris, so they send it out to Chamberlain. Burris gets the ball back, drives, goes right into Hornbuckle, loses the basketball. Hooks took the shot with about 4 seconds remaining. Had plenty of time to get it a little closer, but launched it, and that's the end of the third quarter. Our score after 3, Hamilton Southeastern leads Newcastle 31-28. Back with the fourth quarter after this is Royals basketball on ASO. About ready to get the fourth quarter underway here from Hamilton Southeastern High School. Our score, the Royals leading the Trojans of Newcastle in this junior varsity contest, 31-28. I'm Brian Scott. 4 points from Mabor Majak in that third quarter. He has 10 in the basketball game. Matt Harris has 6. 4 points for Dayland Hooks in that third quarter. And the Trojans will have the basketball to begin quarter number 4. It'll be Mason Hardwick, joined by Nicholas Greaser, Blake Burris, Wes Chamberlain, and Andrew Froge. For Coach Dave Merrick, it'll be Cole Hornbuckle, Dayland Hooks, Josh Fugate, Bradley Beeman, and Mabor Majak. Majak out there with 3 personals. Royals have 3 team fouls. The Trojans have 5. Left shot long, and the rebound to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle right side to Beeman, baseline drive. Lost it as he was going up, but a whistle and a foul, and Bradley's going to earn a trip to the free throw line. Going to be the 16th foul against the Trojans, and it'll be the 4th. As Beeman gets the free throw. Second free throw rattles home for Bradley. He has 7. And the lead is 5 for the Royals as they show a bit of a 2-2-1 press out of the made free throw. And they will get the ball to the near side and down into the corner to Webb. Webb works on Majak, trips and loses the basketball. Here's Hooks, right side to Beeman, out to Fugate, 4-3. Nailed it. Good job on the fast break as Beeman drew the defenders in. Fugate camped out beyond the arc, and Beeman found Fugate for the three, and that makes it an 8-point game with 6:05 left to go in this fourth quarter. Brian Scott with you from Hamilton Southeastern High School. Tuesday night action with the Royals hosting the Newcastle Trojans. Hamilton Southeastern trailed by 1 at the end of the first quarter, led by 2 at the break, led by 2 at the end of the third, and quickly they have scored 5 points here to make it a 6-point affair. Or excuse me, an 8-point lead at 36-28. Out of the timeout for the Trojans, it will be Wes Chamberlain, joined by Andrew Froge, Mason Hardwick, Nicholas Greaser, and Blake Burris. And for the Royals, it'll be Bradley Beeman, Cole Hornbuckle, Josh Fugate, DeLand Hooks, and Mabor Majak. Back to the 2-2-1 for Southeastern. As Trojans get it into the front court, they send it down low. Nice little ball fake there by Blake Burris. Got Majak to commit to the wing, and then it was an easy shot for Burris. Snaps the 5-0 run to begin the quarter for Southeastern, but they still lead by 6. Royals with the basketball. Fugate drives in the lane. Right hand leaves it for Majak, and Majak comes from the backside and flushes it down. Majak has 12 points, and the lead's back to 8 for Southeastern. As the Trojans get it into the front court, driving baseline, and getting blocked by DeLand Hooks was Andrew Froge. Hooks with the basketball now loses it, and into the hands of Nicholas Greaser. He will outlet it. Burris's three is no good. Rebound comes into the hands of, that was Chamberlain. And the Trojans driving left side. They will wave off the basket, saying the shot attempt. They'll say the foul occurred on the floor as Greaser drove left side of the lane. The foul's going to go against Southeastern. For Fugate, his third, 14th foul. And they said that the foul occurred on the floor. So it will be taken out of bounds from the baseline for the Trojans, who trail by 8 with 5 minutes remaining. Froge has his pocket picked by Hooks. Hooks drives around, leaves it to Majak, and Majak's going to be held by Andrew Froge. Telegraphed the inbounds pass. It was an easy theft for Hooks, and Froge will be hit with his second personal and the 7th team foul. Meanwhile, Mabor Majak, he has 4-4 from the line and has 2 free throws here. And he continues to make his free throws. Mabor with 13 points, make it 14 with a free throw here, which he does. 4 points in the quarter. And 14 in the game for Mabor Majak as the lead's back up to 10. This is the biggest lead, the biggest lead the Royals have had tonight. And as the Trojans try to get it into the front court, the pass ends up hitting the sideline in front of the Trojans bench out of bounds, and a turnover gives the ball to Hamilton Southeastern. Up by 10 with 4:47 left to go. Here's Hooks. Right side, and Beeman couldn't hold on to that pass as it was behind him and simply couldn't squeeze the orange in time. And one turnover goes to another as the team swap turnovers, and the Trojans have the basketball. And they also have it in the front court, and slipping was Burris, but there to pick it up is Greaser. Greaser back to Burris, fakes the three, drives in the lane, right-hand scoop, layup, no good, ball's loose, and Cole Hornbuckle will end up taking the ball out of bounds, and the ball will belong to Newcastle. Substitutions once again as Froge departs, and entering for Hamilton Southeastern, Matt Harris will come in for Cole Hornbuckle. 40-30 for Hamilton Southeastern. 4:26 remains in this basketball game, and On the inbound, launching the three is Hardwick. Ball is loose. It will be brought in the backcourt as they tip back there by the Royals. So Chamberlain able to retrieve it and bring it back up front court without a violation. 4:13 left to go. 40-30. Royals with the lead. High ball screen, trying to get around that. Driving baseline and cut off is Greaser. And now a whistle and a traveling violation as Greaser got double-teamed down near the baseline, and as he tried to send the ball back out, he's called for some traveling. So getting a little sloppy here in this fourth quarter, especially for the Trojans, and they trail by 10. Fugate looks for Majak, and now will send it left side to Matt Harris. A little bit of a ball fake, and now he's going to be called for extending that arm. Matt Harris with his second 15 foul against the Royals. Matt didn't really make a whole lot of contact, but he had that arm fairly well extended, and the officials will call that just about every time. Ryland Huntley will come in for Bryce Webb for the Trojans. They still trail by 10 with 3:48 left to go in this fourth quarter. Royals with the lead, 40-30. As Huntley works against one-on-one of Majak. He has his shot blocked by the big fella as Hooks gets the outlet pass. Looks to get it to Beeman, but had it tipped. And coming the other way is the Trojans' Blake Burris to score on the break to make it an 8-point game. Beeman hands it to Fugate. Looking down low, finds Mabor Majak. Majak sends it out to Harris. To Beeman, to Fugate, left elbow, and now Josh will back it out and reset the offense for the Royals with 3 minutes left to play. Fugate will drive left side of the lane. They'll call the foul on the floor. No free throws involved as far as shots, but the 1-and-1 is in effect. Blake Burris, his third, 8th team foul. As the 1-and-1 is now in effect. And it will be Fugate at the line shooting the 1-and-1. Josh has 5 points. His first free throw attempt is Bryce Webb returns and Ryland Huntley departs for the Trojans. So Fugate at the line for the first time. Royals are 4 for 4 from the line in the fourth quarter here. And Fugate continues the streak as he hits the front end and will now get a shot at the back end of the 1-and-1. Second free throw is good. Royals 6 for 6 from the charity stripe in this fourth quarter, and they once again lead by 10 with 2:55 left to go. Greaser, grasped by Matt Harris. Bounce pass down to Webb, working against Majak, who has 3 personals. They'll send it back up top, and Hardwick will see what he can do against Bradley Beeman. Over to Greaser. Greaser in the lane and had it poked away, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called against Hamilton Southeastern. Their 6th team foul. And the personal is against Bradley Beeman, his 2nd. And at the line, Nicholas Greaser. He is 3 of 4 from the line. All his points in this game have come from the free throw line. He misses the first. Bryce Webb will depart. Andrew Froge back in for the Trojans. Meanwhile, Greaser seeing if he can salvage 1 of 2, and he does. He now has 4 points, but it's a 9-point Royal lead. Quickly into the front court, here's Fugate, and he'll just simply back it up. And we're going to have a timeout called by Royals JV head coach Dave Mariko with 2:28 left to go. Hamilton Southeastern leads Newcastle 42-33, a full timeout. This is Royals basketball on audiosportsonline.net. Brian Scott back with you from Hamilton Southeastern High School, the home of the Royals, as JV action is winding down. The Royals leading the Trojans from Newcastle by the score of 42-33. Another good game for the 7'1" freshman Mabor Majak. He has 14 points, and he is 6 of 6 from the free throw line in tonight's contest. Royals led by 2 at the half, and at 2 at the end of the third quarter. The lead has been as much as 10, and it currently is 9 at 42-33. Out of the timeout, Josh Fugate, Matt Harris, Dalen Hooks, Bradley Beeman, and Mabor Majak on the court for Hamilton Southeastern, and Hooks will inbound it from the sideline, kind of in front of us. He will throw it to the backcourt where it'll be chased down by Fugate. Almost stolen away, and Fugate will have to watch, see that his pocket doesn't get picked. Double team comes, and the pressure does turn into a turnover. Driving and having his shot blocked is Wes Chamberlain. And Chamberlain will say it went off of a Trojan as Fugate got his pocket picked, but he quickly hustled back on defense and was able to block the shot and knock it off of the Trojans. And now Hamilton Southeastern has it. Long outlet pass, a little too long for Fugate. Ball's loose, and it'll say it went off of a Trojan, much to the dismay of Newcastle's Nicholas Greaser. 2:13 remains with Southeastern leading 42-33. Hooks to inbound and finds Josh Fugate. Fugate is going to be fouled as they tried to. Oh, no, they called it on Fugate. As Fugate, they say, kind of did a bit of a swim move to try to get away from Nicholas Greaser. The 17th foul, no free throws involved on the offensive foul, but both teams now in the bonus. Trojans with the basketball. Here's Hardwick, pull-up jumper in front of the three-point line. Well short, but there's a player underneath, and we're going to have an offensive foul against Blake Burris. That'll be his fourth as he tries to clear out some space. And $19 foul, no free throws once again on the offensive foul. It simply will be Royals basketball up by 9 with 1:56 remaining. Matt Harris with it, and he tries to split the defenders, gets it to Hooks, and it's stolen away by Greaser. Greaser tries to send it to the corner to Burris. Burris's three, that's off the flange. Rebound by the Trojans. Froge will try to push one up, and he'll just simply be swatted away by Majak. Back to the corner to Chamberlain. And backing it up now is Greaser with 1:30 left. Trojans down by 9. Greaser has his shot blocked by Majak partially. Got it on the rim, and now nobody back at the defensive end. And Cole Hornbuckle, he'll miss the layup. Harris will miss the putback. It was a good outlet by Majak as the Trojans weren't back, and now a whistle and a foul as Majak saw Hornbuckle at the other end, but neither Hornbuckle or Harris could finish it off. Meanwhile, Hooks will pick up his fourth personal and 8th team foul, and free throws on the way as Blake Burris is at the line for the 1-and-1. His first free throw attempts of the night. He has 9 points. And he hits the free throw. He's now in double figures with 10, and the lead is 8 for Hamilton Southeastern with 1:13 remaining. Second free throw is up. It is good. Burris hits both free throws. He has 6 in the quarter and 11 in the game. And the lead is 42-35 with 1:07 as they try to get it to Majak down on the sideline. Knocked out of bounds by Nicholas Greaser, and the ball will remain in the hands of Hamilton Southeastern with 65 seconds remaining. Hooks. Looks, and now bounce pass to Hornbuckle. Stolen away. Knocked away by Hardwick into the hands of Greaser. They send it to the right side to Burris. Back up top, this is Froge. Froge to Hardwick. 3 from the corner is up and good. Mason Hardwick with his second 3 of the game. He has 8 points, but quickly Dalen Hooks the other way. His layup no good. but he's going to earn a trip to the free throw line with 47.6 seconds remaining. Southeastern leads by 4. Andrew Froge with his third, 10th team foul, but this is a 2-shot foul for Dayland Hooks. Hooks with 6 points. He's 2 of 2 from the line, and he hits the first free throw. Either way, it'll be a 2-possession game as Hooks converts on both. He is 4-4. He has 6 points, and with 47.6 seconds remaining, Coach Dave Merica calls a 30-second timeout with Southeastern up by 6. Varsity action to follow. It's been, at times, a very close game. Southeastern has been up by as much as 10. But they just watched their lead get trimmed to 4 before Hooks' 2 free throws pushed it back to 6. Hamilton Southeastern and Newcastle. Again, varsity action to follow here on Audio Sports Online. Likely will not be tipping off at 7:30 as this JV game is beginning to run a little bit on the long side. And we still have 47.6 seconds remaining. It's a 2-possession game for the Royals, in favor of the Royals, as they get the ball into the front court. Here's Hardwick's 3. That's long into the hands of Burris. Burris's shot will not go. He was hoping to get the 3-point, and Burris hobbling a little bit, but he will go to the free throw line. Bradley Beeman will be hit with his third, 9th team foul, and Blake Burris is at the line for another 2 free throws. And he hits the first. Josh Fugate will come in for Matt Harris. A 5-point game. 34 seconds remain. Second free throw coming up from Blake Burris. He has hit all 4 of his free throw attempts here in the fourth quarter, and it's a 4-point game with 33 seconds, and the ball goes out of bounds. And they say the ball belongs to Hamilton Southeastern. There's Hornbuckle getting it over to Hooks. Hooks will get it into the front court. Ball tipped, but into the hands of Majak. He keeps it, sends it to Beeman, and a whistle and a foul. Nicholas Greaser, his third. Double bonus is in effect, and Mabora Majak, who is 6 of 6, is at the line. Majak continues his good free throw shooting as he is now 7 of 7. That one rims out. Hornbuckle has the loose ball, sends it to Beeman, and Beeman backs it out with under 20 seconds left, and that's going to cause the Trojans to have to foul. It'll go against Nicholas Greaser. That'll be his 4th. And this time Bradley Beeman is going to be at the line with a double bonus. Beeman 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Hits front iron. That one's left short. A 5-point lead for Southeastern. 17.4 seconds remain. Royals clear the line. As Beeman with one more free throw. That one's no good and comes into the hands of Greaser. He'll get it into the front court. He'll send it left side. Hardwick's 3 is on the way, and it's good. Mason Hardwick with his third 3-point basket. And that'll cut the deficit to 2 at 45-43 with 9 seconds remaining. So Hardwick with a couple of big threes in this fourth quarter for the Trojans, and Blake Burris with 4 clutch free throws. He has 8 points in the quarter to go along with his 5 first half points. So the Trojans hanging around here in this fourth quarter. Southeastern's lead has been as great as 10. Newcastle has also tied this game on several occasions. Several occasions have had a 2-point lead. And right now they trail by 2 with 9 seconds remaining. Both teams are basically in the double bonus. The next foul against Hamilton Southeastern will be their 10th team foul. And the Royals have been in the double bonus for quite a while. Fugate finds Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle will be fouled as about 1.3 seconds tick off the clock, down to 7.7, and we'll head to the other end where Hornbuckle will have 2 free throws on the way. Andrew Froge is hit with the personal, his 5th, and he will depart. Froge leaves with 4 points in the game. Bryce Webb will be coming in. And Cole Hornbuckle is at the free throw line. He hits the first. This second one is huge. It makes it a 2-possession game. Matt Harris departs. Mabor Majak back in. 7.7 seconds remain. Southeastern leads by 3, but this free throw by Hornbuckle could make it a 2-possession game, which he does. A big free throw from Cole Hornbuckle, and a timeout called by Hamilton Southeastern. It'll be a full, and I believe that'll be their final timeout. So down to 7.7 seconds remaining. Hornbuckle with 2 big free throws makes it a 4-point game at 47-43. The next Southeastern foul will put the Trojans in the double bonus, while the Royals have been in the double bonus for a good portion of this fourth quarter. Varsity action to follow, and again, will likely be a little later than 7:30 due to the length of the junior varsity contest. The Royals and the Trojans coming up. But still a little work to be done here in the junior varsity game. 7.7 seconds remain. Out of the timeout, Babor Majak, Dayland Hooks, Josh Fugate, Bradley Beeman, and Cole Hornbuckle. And the Royals will set up the 2-2-1. 2-possession game. And inbounding will be Nicholas Greaser for the Trojans. Looking for the long outlet, won't find it. Instead, he finds Hardwick. Hardwick will send to Chamberlain. Chamberlain hits a 3. A long range 3 by Wes Chamberlain. Chamberlain had a 3 in the first quarter. He gets a 3 in the third, and what was a 4-point game is now a 1-point game, and both teams now out of timeouts. 2.8 seconds remain, and now if you're Newcastle, you'll have to commit the very quick foul. That 2 free throws by Cole Hornbuckle now loom huge as it made this a 2-possession game. So the Royals still lead by 1 at 47-46. So look for Newcastle to go for the very quick steal or the very quick foul, whatever they can get first, as they trail only by 1. No timeouts for either team. Both teams, for all intents and purposes, they're in the double bonus. And we'll see what Coach Dave Merica draws up on the Royals sideline. For the Trojans, they will have Blake Burris, Mason Hardwick, Rylan Huntley, Nicholas Greaser, and Wes Chamberlain on the court. For Hamilton Southeastern, Dayland Hooks, Matt Harris, Bradley Beeman, Josh Fugate, and Cole Hornbuckle. And we don't even... They're going to call a foul with no time coming off the clock, and we'll go to the other end of the court. So the Trojans foul before even Southeastern can get it inbounds, and it will be DeLynn Hooks going to the line to shoot 2. Foul went against the Trojans. Wes Chamberlain, his first. And Hooks hits the free throw, and that makes it a 2-point game. This could make it a 3. Mabor Majak to check in should he make it. That rolls out, no good. Here comes Burris. Long-range 3 is short. And Hamilton Southeastern will survive with a 48-46 victory over Newcastle. Back with some final stats in just a moment. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern High School, where the junior varsity contest has just come to a close, and the Royals hang on for a 2-point win, 48-46. Let's give you our final stats for tonight's game. For the visiting Newcastle Trojans, they were led by 13 points from Blake Burris, 11 points from Mason Hardwick, 8 points from Bryce Webb, 4 points each from Nicholas Greaser and Andrew Froge, 3 points from Wes Chamberlain, Rylan Huntley, and David Schoen played. They did not score. For the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, they were led by 15 points from freshman Mabor Majak, 7 points each from Josh Fugate, Bradley Beeman, and DeLynn Hooks, 6 points from Matt Harris, 4 points from Cole Hornbuckle, including a couple of big free throws, 2 points from Chris Kotlowski. Brandon Miller and Nate Chakowski played. They did not score. Southeastern trailed 8-7. After the end of the first quarter, they were up by 2, 21-19 at the break. Up by 2 after the end of 3 at 31-28, and they hang on for the 48-46 victory against Newcastle. Coming up, varsity basketball from Hamilton Southeastern High School. Stay tuned. We'll have starting lineups coming up in about 15 minutes. This is Royals basketball on ASL.